fresh off a standout performance a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting L.A. Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. There's Wilson to throw. And he floats one there, incomplete. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They go play action with Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that that carries over to this week as well.
second down, this is Gurley. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to third down.
Now that's a play they're going to be proud of on defense, because any second and short situation, you anticipate the run, and you want to make the play and stop them from getting a first down. But when you can force them to lose yardage and now put the odds in your favor on defense because now they're going to have to throw the ball, that's a play that you're going to be really, really excited about, and one that your defense coordinator now gets to roll the dice a little bit himself and create a big play.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Hard throw, incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. Unless he has a Julio Jones-type 300-yard game in him that Julio did against the Panthers in 2016, probably not going to reach 1,000, but still pretty good year.
I think you're right. It's a pretty good year for him, but let's face it, every receiver's dream is to have a game like Julio Jones had.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Dumping it off for Johnson. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. The defense here for the Rams.
And defensive tackle Aaron Donald, when you evaluate him, you're looking for flaws. You can't find any. This guy has the ability to single-handedly take over a game. Wrecks it inside, outside. You can't run it against him. And good luck trying to throw it downfield when he's in the face of the quarterback.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Unable to corral him, he fights through. A big run there by Johnson. 44 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
They go play action here on first down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Rams have got it back. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Now they try the right side here. Bulldozes past him. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Sliding out of the pocket. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold.
319. Hey, 50. No.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that's going to lead to a third down.
Brandon, guys do whatever it takes to have fresh legs late in the season nowadays, don't they? How about him last week? Week 16, NFC Player of the Week for his performance.
Probably means a little bit more to him later in the year, doesn't it? Because of what you just said, the fatigue for a running back throughout the season.
Shows the off-season training and the endurance that he created in order to have that type of a game this late in the season.
And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now it's Rodgers. Throw complete right side to Cooks. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quadre Diggs. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Love the run right there, and when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked him. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him.
Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following the sparkling display of footwork. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now it's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They run a draw here on second down. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On third down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on second and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Throw left side, complete to Ross. Give him a couple on the catch. It's second and 8. Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. Now a handoff for Gurley. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down and about the length of the football.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Now Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Rasul Douglas picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out first and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. So we've reached an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Hey, check 26.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Pass incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On play action, Rodgers. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A huge play that time for the Rams. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Back to the ground game here, Gurley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Rodgers going to throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
319.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Rams are in for 6. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Finding some room at midfield. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all
Still
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On second down, here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the
Still
jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
All right.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Box it, box it, box it, box it.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 and a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his... And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
319.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
I know you're looking at the scoreboard clock. We're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it.
Now a handoff looking right. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Oh, and now he pulls him over. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage. Throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney.
On the toss, it's Gurley. Good move by Todd Gurley. Wave goodbye. The 40, 20, 10, and touchdown. Todd Gurley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams have taken the lead here in the 4th. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly,
skyrocketed.
right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now here's Michael Dixon. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And the Rams getting set to go now. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Again they run with Gurley. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Over, 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 over.
On first down, it's Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Another carry now for Gurley. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively. With 1:56 to go. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
All right, here we go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
Still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
He's back to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. They'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Elsewhere, a fourth-quarter score now from Tampa. And really pouring it on now with the Falcons. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
Timeout defense.
And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. And this one is right through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And our attention shifts here to the Seahawks defense. And they'll see if they can get one final stop with this crowd behind them.
And let's face it, as much as we want to say it's all about the guys on the field, they can get some help right here from the home crowd. And they're going to try their best to get them motivated, get them involved. But they're going to need to make a play or two in order to keep them in that spot.
The crowd's making some noise now. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
All right, now, look at 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stand your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final